This is CS952, Introduction to Web Technologies and Design, and we're continuing with our media page. We've already added in some audio files. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to double click to open up my media page. A lot of sites these days choose to use YouTube to stream their videos. The YouTube website is all engineered towards successfully delivering videos to anybody. So YouTube really has the technology for successfully streaming videos, and there are other reasons as well. But we're going to learn how to do both things. We're going to learn how to both have YouTube host the video. In this case, we're just going to be borrowing an existing video that's on YouTube, or actually put the video on our own website. If you wanted to have a video that where people had to come to your website to see the video, we'll learn how to do that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add in a Bootstrap tab. So I want to make sure I have my H2 selected, and I'm going to switch back to my Insert panel, and I'm going to scroll down in my Bootstrap components, and what I'm looking for is this item right here, a Bootstrap tab. So when I click on my Bootstrap tab, I get this familiar little dialog box. Bootstrap wants to know, do you want to put it before the H2 tag that you have selected, after the H2 tag? Do you want to nest it? We're going to put it after the H2 tag. Okay? So there we go. So we now have our little tab panel right underneath our video. We can see we've got something that says tab 1 and tab 2. We want to rename tab 1 and tab 2. We could do this in design view, or we could do it in code view. It doesn't seem to really make a whole lot of difference one way or the other. Let's do it in design view this time. So I'm going to double click on the word tab, and this is another one of those cases where if we do edit the text in design view, make sure that you don't completely eliminate all the text. As I discussed, it's possible to not only delete the text that's inside of the anchor. We can see that we're dealing with an anchor here, right? We can actually take out the entire anchor itself. So I'm going to double click on the word tab, because that means I have at least one character, the character 1 remaining. So I'm not going to run the risk of getting rid of everything entirely. And I'm going to type the word YouTube, Y-O-U-T-U-B-E, because this tab's going to have our YouTube content. And I'm going to hit the forward delete key once, and I'm going to hit it again. There we go. So now it just says YouTube. And then for my second video tab, I'm going to double click where it says tab, and I'm going to type in HTML5. HTML5, because we're going to use our second tab as our HTML5 video player. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. Now the next item over here is this drop-down toggle. We're actually going to be taking this out. We don't really need this. It's an extra component that's been added, and we're going to remove that here in just a second. I'm going to switch back to code view, and you can see where we've just, if we look over here at our first list item, here is our YouTube. This is our first list item, and that's, you can see that's where we typed in YouTube. This is our second list item. Let me click here in my status bar, and we can see the second list item has that content that says HTML5. Now it's this third list item that we really don't need, and it looks like it's around lines, in my case it's 77 to 82. Your numbering may be slightly different, but this is another list item with some additional drop down. So we don't really need this. We're just going to delete this code. So we want to make sure we're deleting the right part of our code. We have our H2 that we added, and then we have another div, and this div is actually holding our nav panels that we just added. Scroll on down. Okay, so we have our first list item. That's the one that says YouTube. We have our second list item, and that's the one that says HTML5. It's this third list item that has a class drop-down. We don't really need that at all. So I'm going to make sure I have this drop-down list item selected in my status bar. So all of this is highlighted in code view, and I'm just going to hit delete just to delete that. What we're going to do at this point is add in our first video player, And our first video player is going to go inside of this tab. Let me hit refresh. Where it says Content for Tab Panel 1. Let me click on that paragraph tag in the status bar. So the way this works, this first list item, you'll see it has a H reference. It has an anchor that says go to something with an ID of home 1. And if we look over here, we can see we've got a div, yep, and it's got an ID of home 1. So when we click on YouTube, YouTube has a link to home 1, and then this is the home 1 that actually loads. So at the end of the day, long story short, we want to take out this content that says content in tab panel 1. We want to delete that, and we want to replace it with our video player. Or at least we're going to replace it with our Bootstrap responsive video component. So with this text highlighted, I'm going to hit delete. Now we're going to go to our insert panel, and we want to insert under Bootstrap. We want to insert a responsive video embed, and that's right here. And responsive video embed means we can add a video to our page, and that video will change sizes just like we made our images change size depending on whether you're using mobile device or a desktop computer. That's what we mean by responsive. So I'm going to click on responsive video embed, and now we've got it. Now if we want to see what this looks like, I'm going to go over here and press F12, preview in my browser. Do you want to save all changes? Yep. So this is a little video all about Dreamweaver we've got. If we click on the HTML5 tab, it's empty because we haven't added any content yet, but we can switch back here to YouTube. So this is a good place to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to do the same thing for our HTML5 tab and add in some video there.